Okay, another great day, another important topic. Again, we're on Iran. Who's here? Dave Bender. Good seeing you, Dave. Hope everything's good up in Svat. Enjoying the great weather, the spiritual location. Thanks for joining today. All right, we're going to get going. The Iran deal. Yes, we're still talking about Iran. Why? Because it's still headlines, because it's important, because whether people understand it or not, this deal affects everyone's lives. The world is going to change with this deal, and not for the good. I wish I was wrong, but I really believe I'm right, and I don't want to be silent, and that's why I keep on talking about it. And I want to say hi to Gracie for joining as well. Thanks so much, Gracie. All right, so today's Meerkat is the Iran deal. It's all about the money. Why am I saying all about the money? And I want to say hi to Cosmo Sherry. Thanks for joining. I like your tagline. I live, I learn, I'm human, I'm not perfect. I like that. I agree 100%. Thank you so much. Seeing you today. Okay. The Iran, what does it mean it's all about the money? It's very simple. Again, Obama's tagline or his talking point that people who I believe are not really thinking through this Iran deal, many of Democratic or Obama supporters say 99% of the world is for it, right? Saying hi to Jason for joining as well. Thanks. They say 99% of the world supports it, or the United Nations Security Council supported it unanimously. Russia, China, all these countries are supporting this Iran deal, right? It must be a good deal. It must be a good deal. Why would all these nations of the world sit back and whether actively support it or even passively support it? Cosmo Sherry is writing, I just heard that Iran hasn't even accepted the deal yet. Well, interestingly enough, Cosmo, and I will respond to your point and then continue. You know what? It doesn't make a difference whether Iran officially accepted the deal or not. Iranians are known to be exceptional negotiators. And also they negotiate in their own language. I mean, yes, the negotiations are in English, but they then translate everything into their own language. So they're very good at negotiating in such a way so they can interpret the way they want to interpret. So John Kerry says one thing and the Iranians say another thing. So the Iranians are already saying, oh yes, we'll continue doing this with ballistic weapons and we'll continue doing this, even though John Kerry in America are saying things totally opposite. So even if Iran accepts or doesn't accept, doesn't make a difference. They're already stating publicly things that they will continue to do or not to do, which go against what John Kerry and Obama are telling the American people we're part of the deal. And that's what counts. All right, so again, it's all about the money. We have a global economy, right? Big businesses, countries are interested in their economies growing, especially as the global economy is not always doing great in some countries. What is it about the money? Iran is about to get a windfall of over $150 billion. Yes, Cosmo Sherry is adding, they're still burning USA flags, chanting death to America. 100% doesn't make sense to me that Obama would say it's a good deal when he's making a deal with those type of people. So you're on point, Cosmo Sherry, 100%. It's all about the money, okay? $150 billion. Billion dollars. Now let's say, as some American U.S. administration people are saying, only 10% of that money is given towards terror activities that Iran supports. Whether it's terror activities in Yemen, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, against Israel, or around the world affecting Europeans and Americans. That's still $15 billion of money that's going to go towards terror activities. Let's just say even the American administration is admitting, which baffles my mind, that $15 billion, they are allowing, and the world is allowing and sanctioning, in a sense, $15 billion to be spent on terror activities around the world, because even Obama says publicly, this deal was not about them stopping their activities or their behavior. It was just dealing with the nuclear. Like, that really makes sense. But that's not what this topic is about. So they're only spending 10% of the $150 billion on terror. You still have $135 billion. Now, China, Russia, America, France, Germany, those countries are looking like dogs to take advantage of that cash windfall Iran's going to have to do business with Iran. And I see again, Cosmo Sherry, you write, poor Israel. Actually, Cosmo Sherry, if you see other videos, and you'll see future videos, I don't believe Israel's in a bad spot. Israel's in the best spot of all. And very shortly, I'll basically say it because we have leaders who understand the existential threat Iran poses to us and the threat it poses to the world, and we are prepared, even though it'll be rough and tough. But I'm more scared for the poor Europeans and Americans who are going to suffer because their security is going to go down as Iran is emboldened with this Iran deal, okay? But again, back to the point of the money. $150 billion Iran is going to have for the world to do business with them. China, Russia, France, Germany, America. That's what this deal's all about. It's about big business. It's about the world being able to do business and grow their economies, because now Iran is open to business like it hasn't been in years because of the sanctions regimes. That is what this deal is all about. Again, I'm putting aside Obama's intentions, his legacy. I don't care about all that stuff right now. I just want people to follow the money. And this is important to think about because this isn't the first time it happened. It's not going to be the last time it happened. When international relations or countries' decisions on the geopolitical sphere were based on business or political or business interests of their country, and not necessarily for the better good of humanity or even for the security of their own population. And where am I going with this? It's not that far back, guys. Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany, Nazis were saying there about genocide. They were open about their ambitions in Europe, in the world, and yet, even though there was no global economy in the 1920s or 30s or 40s, there were plenty of big businesses already doing big business in Nazi Germany and helping the Nazi Germany war effort. Yes, 100% Cosmo Sherry, 100% lunacy, but it's lunacy that makes sense, that humanity keeps on doing the same mistakes, and yet we, the people, don't learn to put our politicians in place to learn from that history. And again, I'm just going back 70, 80 years to Nazi Germany. Some of the biggest businesses to benefit from Nazi Germany business-wise were American businesses. GE, Ford, Alcoa, IBM. These were businesses who were doing business in Nazi Germany when it was clear of the Nazi German intention to take over Europe and the world and to do bad things to the Jews. And even when they started doing all these things, these big businesses continued doing business with Nazi Germany. It's money, folks. Big business. It's money. It's economy. And they also pressured the American government because they were getting financial benefit from doing business with Nazi Germany. So here we are today, again, Iran. Everyone knows Iran is the biggest state sponsor of terrorism around the world. Everyone knows the terrorism that Iran is fighting America and America-trained forces in the Middle East. Iran funds Hezbollah. Iran is basically running Bashar Assad in Syria and taking apart that country. Iran basically taking apart Iraq. After all the lives Americans lost in Iraq to try to bring democracy in Iraq, regardless of what that was right or wrong, so many American lives were lost in Iraq. And it's all falling apart because of who? Because of Iran. And yet, the American government is now making this deal that will give a stamp of approval and allow Iran to grow in strength and even more so take over the Middle East and create uncertainty and division in other countries. And yes, some of that money is going to be used for terror groups that are going to be doing terror around the world, in Europe and America. Is there proof out there of that? Do I have it? I don't have it. The proof is there. And I hope I'm wrong, but I unfortunately believe I'm right. And that's why the security of Americans and Europeans are going to go down over the years because of this Iran deal. International terror is going to spike up. The world powers are going to be powerless. Sanctions can't be snapped back because all of these international businesses will be making contracts to do business with Iran. Cosmo Sherry writes, I'm so angry about it all. We have a joke government. Yeah, I'm actually angry not because the American government is a joke government. I believe there's an agenda behind the Obama administration, and it's a bad agenda. But that's, again, totally off topic, different topic. And yes, people should be angry, and you're right. Unfortunately, there's so many people who are not angry. There's so many people who are not thinking through the facts. And I love the whole PR campaign, public relations campaign that the Obama administration is trying to do to gain support for the Iran deal. But come on! If it was a good deal, don't you think most people would understand the good deal? There are just so many points that are bad about it that can't be explained, but yet they just do spin and they do parrot points and talking points. People just parrot things that do not answer the real issues. So guys, it's all about following the money. There's so much about international relations that is about following the money. But I care about humanity. I care about the future. I care about my life. I care about my family's life. I care about Israel. I care about Americans and Europeans. And therefore, it is important to bring this issue up and to talk about and to raise so that other people can start thinking. It's about follow the money. Think about all that big business. May as many people as possible wake up to the truth. Wake up to asking the questions. Ask the questions, and if you don't get answers, or you don't get good enough answers, keep on asking the questions. This is something that has to do with our security all over the world. This should be a solid, tight agreement. Solid, tight to make sense. It's only showing the foolishness of negotiations of the American administration with John Kerry. How long until sword-yielding ISIS come across the Mexican border and chop off Americans' heads? No more off topic, sorry. All right, Cosmo Sherry. First of all, you're more than welcome to always share off topic comments, whether during streams or not during streams, just on my Twitter account. But again, what your point is making, and I'm going to say ISIS or Iran, because again, you're talking about a world war is taking place in the Middle East. All right, thanks, Cosmo Sherry. A world war is taking place in the Middle East. What's that world war? It's the Sunni versus Shiite world war. You have a mini world war taking place in the Muslim world itself. Each one wants to rule the world. Each one wants to have its own Muslim caliphate around the world with Sharia law according to their own interpretations. But they're killing each other. And even though they both kill each other, they also want to kill and impose Sharia upon the rest of the world, each one for its own intent. So yes, whether ISIS or Iran, they're going to bring their terror to the world. And they're already bringing their terror to the world, whether it's the Sunni ISIS or Muslim Brotherhood types, because Muslim Brotherhood was also Sunni, or it's the Shiite Iranian types. And yes, Iran has a foothold in Central and South America, where they have deals and they could bring weapons or nuclear weapons there easily to do whatever they want to America, which it's written up. In any case, I just went off topic. Bottom line, this was about the Iran deal and it's all about the money. It happened in Nazi Germany. It's happening again today. Do not take the talking point, the world powers agree to this Iran deal and therefore it's good. No, the world powers also sat back and let Nazis take over Nazi Germany. And Chamberlain said the peace in our time deal with Nazi Germany, with Hitler, totally ignoring the facts and proof out there about Nazi Germany's true intentions. So again, today you have smart world leaders and smart politicians and intellectuals and scientists who are agreeing to a bad deal where all the facts about the terror and evil and human rights abuses of Iran are out there for all to see. I do believe in a better future. I do believe we can bring a better future. Part of that starts with sharing the truth and asking the questions. And if you don't trust me for anything, look everything up on your own. Ask questions. I say something, ask me a question, send me a comment. I'm just trying to be my little person to make a difference, to raise issues so people can start thinking more and more for themselves. It should be a great day. It should be a great beginning to the end of the week, where the Shabbat comes, and we'll get more on that as Shabbat approaches. Thank you so much for following. Any comments or questions? I'm right here on Meerkat, on Twitter, Israel Straight Talk on Facebook, Israel Video Network to follow up on videos about Israel, Middle East, Iran deal, Judaism, IsraelVideoNetwork.com. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks so much for joining.